How is it to be an adult? A few days ago, I turned 19, and for a channel that you can see me change since I was 16 or 17, I think it's only fair that I make a video on this topic, since becoming an adult is probably going to be one of your biggest changes in your life. I got this video idea over a year ago, where in it I would prepare the people that are watching what is to come in adulthood. Of course, it will not be perfect since I have only been an adult for like a year. And one thing that I need to say before I start is that I have always been really anxious about my future. So for me to reach this new level of life just made me more anxious on what to expect. So, what was I expecting from it? There was a phase before I turned 18, and I actually wrote it all down in this diary or journal, whatever you want to call it, where I couldn't think of what to come. I had no expectations, which was weird. Normally, when we are teenagers, we can predict what is going to happen next year, like for example, same teachers, same colleagues, but this year was really different. It felt like a fog. It was a fog acting as a barrier for me to not predict what was going to happen. Everything that I wished, everything that I feared could be behind that fog. But the only way that I would find out what was behind it was by entering it, which was what I feared. Fear of the unknown. I still remember how I felt at that moment, probably because I have wrote it all down, but still I felt anxious on what to expect from it. So you may be asking, what was it like? Well, for me, it turned out better than I expected. The first big difference that you will notice is freedom. It will feel like a big blank room where you only have one pencil, like an opportunity to start your story from scratch. And since you are now a legal adult, it opens up to many things. You will not be as dependent on your parents as you were, and they cannot really control you as much. You will also want to experience a lot of things. And you can also go to jail, which is the best thing to come from adulthood. So be careful with what you say in your group chat. I know your secrets. Being free was what I always wanted. For context, I took a year off just to discover what was like to be an adult, to start working, and to discover what I wanted to do with my life, just to get my mind into the right place. And it was probably one of the best decisions ever. I never really wanted to go to an university. I always wanted to be an independent worker. So for me, it was a breath of fresh air to be an adult. But now, after this discovery phase and thinking about this topic a lot, I want to go, I want to try to go into an university. I will talk about that later. All that matters is what I wished for happened, no longer confined to this school environment. And one of the things that I come to realize after I became an adult is that school puts a lot of pressure on you that is really unreasonable, especially in the case of being judged and compared to other people. Most people in your school that you have interacted with will just disappear from your life. And school also makes you compare to other people with so much different goals than yours. And it was from this grading system that they would compare you to others. If you had good grades, you would be better than other people, which is not true. But becoming an adult isn't all sunshines and rainbows. It also comes with one thing: responsibilities. I mean, there is no one to tell you what to do, and when you eventually start doing something, you will feel the weight of the responsibility. Also, out of nowhere, new problems will start to appear that require a lot of your attention, which will take you down even lower and overwhelming you. Even if you don't do anything in your life, like don't have a job or no purpose, you will still feel the need to be more responsible. And since you are now in charge of what to do with your life, your decisions can and will affect you even more. And for me, one of those decisions was starting to work. And I will just say, finding a job is the most stressful thing ever. Thankfully, I found mini jobs, like temporary jobs, where I would make some money through working at stadiums, being as a waiter in hotels. But for the work that I was doing, the pay didn't correlate. I would get paid less than a part-time job, which is really bad. Thankfully, I found a more stable job. It's still a temporary job, so in a matter of minutes they can just snap and fire me. And now I am working at a hypermarket where I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, which is really tiring. But at least I get paid more. It's good to have a job, but it also really sucks because of one thing: time. When you find a job, you will see that you don't have as much time to do the things that you love. I remember telling myself that, wait, I remember telling myself that after I came back from work, I would be grinding, recording videos and editing a lot, when in reality, the first thing that I would do when I come back from work was lie down in my bed. And even if I had time to do something, it would be occupied by responsibilities. And it's not just with working a job, it also is with studying, especially in university. The only main difference that I would say is that school can be more mentally tiring, and and for a job, I would say it's more physically tiring, at least for my job. In school, you get homeworks back, and in a job, the only thing that you are bringing is your back pain. And in the case of having a job, you gain money, which is something that my friends who went to university tell me that they struggle a lot. Speaking of friend group, most of your friendships that you made in your school will just disappear. I only keep close contact with like 5 people, but losing friends also comes with strengths. I started befriending more people, and surprisingly, I also became close friends with people that I did not expect, which now that I think about it is not a bad thing. In conclusion, it can be one of your best experiences depending on your decisions. And before I say anything, I don't want to overwhelm you. I might contradict what I said before in this video, but even though your decisions will affect you a lot, since you have so much time, they might only affect you for a small portion. One piece of advice that I always told myself was to never be still. No matter how harsh life gets, just keep going. because it's when you get complacent that you start losing. I wrote this every time I went to my journal to write something, just to remind me. I never stopped looking for a job. I never stopped making the things that I love, like my videos. Even if you don't know what to do with your life, never stop walking. I was also in that position where I once knew what I wanted to do with my life, but now felt lost. But after going through a lot of thinking, like almost 2 years, I eventually found a new goal. Before I was really hesitant on going to university, but after I started thinking about this, I realized that taking like 2 or 3 years of my life just to go to a small course or university to study will not affect me as much. So that's one of my main goals right now. If you are really questioning about what to do with your life, take a gap year. Take two if you need. It might seem that you need to know everything by now, but one thing I will say is that most adults have their life figured out by their 30s or 40s, so you have a lot of time to give to yourself. Just don't worry, as everything will be clear, as long as you promise me something, that you never stand still. And if you ever feel like you are alone in this path, just know that God is always by your side. And that's everything for the video. I hope you got inspiration from this 1 year experience, and I hope that next year I will be able to update on this. Also, happy birthday to me as well. What? I need to glaze myself. It's my channel. I hope you have a great day, and remember, God loves you.